Hi, I'm Tim Bartz, Internet Sales Manager here at McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas. And in this video we have recorded, it was actually recorded during our live stream that we do this last Tuesday. So, we do a live stream every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, when we go over scheduling information, dealer news updates, recalls, and usually have a topic of the week and some other things. But more importantly, we answer your questions live, the community's questions. So we usually have about a couple hundred people in there each week that are watching this live and asking us questions about their order or, how they should order their vehicle and that kind of thing. And that's what we're here for, is to help you answer any questions. So if you want to join us live, and if you have any questions about scheduling, we can answer them live for you. Also, if you drop them down below, we'll try to get those responded as well. But feel free to come back next week. Again, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central, if you want to join us live and ask your question, and we can answer your individual question if it hasn't been answered in the past. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video, and I hope to see you next week. All right, so let's get into first talking about the different terminologies that we have here of everything. So let's go up here and go through that. All right, so don't forget, what we're talking about here is scheduling information for if you have an order, an order placed, and you want to get scheduled for production. That's what we're talking about here, is getting that order scheduled, that custom order. So those orders are placed in the order bank, where stock and retail orders both are placed. And then if you, of course, it's a retail order is what we call a customer placed order. So that is for somebody that's not for stock, and it's for you. Your name's tagged and attached to it. A COVP needs to be done, and all that stuff. Stock orders are where a dealer would place those stock orders. So if they don't have enough retail orders and they get allocations, which we'll talk about in a little bit, then they may need to add some stock orders to fulfill those rest of those allocations, because they sell enough vehicles that they get those. And some people like just buying a vehicle off of a dealer's lot and seeing it in person before getting it. Priority codes. Now, priority code is attached to those orders. It can be anywhere from an 03 to a 19 for retail. I need to update this slide. I say that every week, but need to get that updated. 20 to 80 is for stock. Lower the better. So retails will always be looked at first with the same configuration. So configuration is looked at first. Priority is next, and then when the order was submitted is third. Scheduling, that is when Ford schedules an order for production, in the future months. So what we're talking about is for May scheduling for this week. So May dates. And then that production date, they're going to be scheduled to the week, to the day. As you get close, a lot of times the orders will be scheduled to the week, because they schedule out 2 months in advance sometimes. And then as it gets closer, it'll get scheduled to a day. And sometimes that can move around until like the week before. And then allocations. Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. You have to have an allocation to get an order scheduled. So a dealer earns those allocations based on their sales for each model within their region. There's some other ways they can lose allocations, and that is if they have too much inventory already, that they have on their lot or they have coming in, that can actually lose allocations they might have earned, because to try to even that out and everything. Constraints, that is an option that may be in short supply or take longer to build. And then capacity, that is their planned production. So anytime the demand is higher than the capacity, that's where you get that constraint or that limited or exhausted availability. That's when you see that where something's over. If you have more orders in the system than what the capacity is, that's where you have that limited availability or exhausted availability situation, which we'll talk about. Job 1 and job 2, that is production run within a model year. They split into two different jobs. And that's because if they need to introduce anything halfway through the year or make a change because of supplier availability, they'll make that change for a middle of the year and not have to, wait until the next model year to end it or to balance it out because of one little thing like that. So we'll see that they've actually did that on the F-150. We'll probably talk about that later. Balance out, that is where they end the production of a certain trim, model, color, that kind of thing. You see that towards the end of the year. Edge is balanced out. 24 model year Explorer is now balanced out. So that's those situations there. All right. So there you go. Okay. Now let's get into scheduling for this week. And again, this is the first week for scheduling for March or May production dates. So 24 model years, the first one we're going to talk about. And they're doing retail scheduling only. A lot of times the first week of scheduling for a production month will be retail first. They always want to make sure the retail orders are scheduled first, so they'll do only retail scheduling and no stock scheduling. And that's the case with Mustang. Order banks are open up right now for 24 model year. You can place an order. We currently have 4 allocations for us for this month. And they are scheduled for the weeks of April 29th through the weeks of May 27th. And most of the models will be those same dates. Now, they have a lot of exhaustive availability items on here. They mentioned Dark Horse Appearance Package, the Mustang Night Pony Package, the 20-inch by 9-inch premium painted aluminum wheel, the 18 by 8-inch machine face aluminum wheel with the high gloss ebony painted pockets. That is okay. So those wheels are 64M is the 20-inch wheel, and 64F is the one I just mentioned, the 18. 642 wheel, which is 19 by 8.5-inch premium polished aluminum wheel, and then wheel 64S, which is a 19 by 8.5 sinister bronze painted wheel. That's your bronze appearance package one. The wheel 64G, which is your 19 by 9 in the front, 19 by 9.5 in the back, carbonized gray painted wheel. That's part of the GT Performance Package. 64Z, the 19 by 9 in the front, 19 by 9.5 sinister bronze in the back. That would be the ones with the bronze appearance package and the GT Performance wheel. 64K, which is a 19 by 9 in the front, 19 by 9.5 in the back, black painted aluminum wheel. So that's the one with the Night Pony package and the GT Performance package. And then 645 is the 19 by 10.5 in the front, 19 by 11 in the back, tarnished and dark wheel. That's included in your Dark Horse handling package. And then the black painted roof is also exhaustive availability. So it's crazy that these are all exhausted already in the first week for scheduling, but I can't. Almost every wheel is in there, so I don't know what they're going to do. Anyway, so but if you have any of those wheels, then it could take a little longer for yours to get scheduled. May not get scheduled this week. Let's see. Other than that, I think that's it. They actually didn't give us the commodity report, so I don't know how many unscheduled orders there are right now. But so we'll bypass that. 24 model year Escape. They are going to be scheduling retail only this week. Order banks are open up for 24 model year Escape orders, including a plug-in hybrid. If you want to place one of those, we actually have one allocation for Escape hybrid and gas and 2 plug-in hybrid allocations. I don't think we have a plug-in hybrid order in the system. They are scheduled for the weeks of April 29th through the weeks of May 27th. So they'll schedule for different dates for different orders in there and try to, pick those orders. So the reason they leave it open is this week they'll try to get everybody's orders that have retail orders based on dealers' allocations for those, and then they'll fill in around that after that with stock orders or other retail orders. So that's usually how that happens. So a lot of times that first week they'll try to schedule all the retails they can. If a dealer has allocations, if they still have allocations and they've scheduled all the retails, then the next week is when they'll start filling in with stock ones around that. And that's how they kind of help their capacity so they can continue to run and produce vehicles in a great fashion there. So, all right, next is the 24 model year Bronco Sport. Order banks are open up. Don't know how many retail orders there are because I don't have that report. We have 8 allocations for this month. And it does say retail commit only. That means retail scheduling. It says we will be committing stock orders for prior wholesale cycles for April production within the current constraints. So it's showing production weeks of April 15th through May 27th. I think most of the retails will be for May production dates. Dealers that had any allocations that got carried over they'll try to schedule those for April to finish out April. They said they will start Badlands production orders this week. So we've been waiting for Badlands. It does say this week they're planning to start scheduling for those. They said mid-March, and here we are. It's mid-March. So limit availability for the convenience package. That's optional on the Big Ben and the freewheeling, and limit availability for the tech package. It's optional on the Outer Banks. So if you're wanting one of those 2 configurations, try to stay away from the convenience package. Otherwise, it may not get scheduled yet. And hopefully people with those Badlands orders are going to finally get scheduled. So there you go. Next is a 24 model year Ranger. Order banks are open up for the 24 Ranger. This month we have 3 regular Ranger allocations and we have 1 Ranger Raptor allocation. So, and I think we might have fulfilled that Ranger Raptor allocation already with an order. They are scheduling only for for Raptor orders this week. So keep that in mind. There you go. And then really nothing else in there. Says, please submit Ranger orders in WebDo to match your open allocation by Wednesday, March 13th, just tomorrow. So we'll need to double check on that, make sure we got that allocation, that order in there. All right, moving on. 24 model year Bronco. Order banks are open up for about all configurations other than Heritage and Heritage Limited orders. So those are closed off, but everything else is open up. They're only scheduling for Raptor, Heritage, 2-door Heritage Limiteds, and Everglades this week. They're scheduled for the weeks of April 29th through May 27th. The weeks of, I should say. Best availability this week for your Heritage Limited is 2-door. That is going to be open. That's primarily what they're scheduling. No availability for 4-door Heritage Limiteds. So, and Heritage Limited, every dealership is supposed to get one. We're actually getting a second one, and we have that should schedule this week. Don't know if it's been fulfilled yet, but if you're thinking about getting a Heritage Limited, we are doing MSRP pricing on that one. So contact us, email us, timothybartz at gmail. If you're wanting to go ahead and get one of those, we'll probably wanting to put in that 2-door. So hopefully you're wanting a 2-door because that's what's going to take there. Other than that, ours will probably schedule this week. So if we don't have somebody to contact us, we'll put it in as a stock 2-door, and we'll just have to, color can be changed usually down the road, but there's only 2 color options anyway. So it'll be a 50-50 chance of getting you scheduled with the color you want. If you end up taking, so somebody could take that one when it comes in, or we can reconfigure, we can add options to that. And after it gets scheduled, so we can make those changes. It does say Raptor orders will require a mix of 70% optional beadlock and 30% standard wheel, and 50-50 for the leather and vinyl. So, and we have 1 Raptor allocation too. So we could get 2 Bronco scheduled this week. All right, moving on to 24 model year Maverick. Order banks are open up right now, including the XL trim. We have 3 allocations this week, which should hopefully cover the 3 people that we have that we needed to reorder their Mavericks for. So that'll help out. It says retail orders only committing for the week of April 29th through the weeks of May 27th. There is a second note in here, and after looking at Bronco Sport, I think this probably means that if any dealer had any stock orders or allocations that got carried from last month that needs to be fulfilled, they're going to fulfill it for April production dates. They need to fill in some stocks for April to help that production through April. And it does say, please note the XL availability is 21%, but that's the same note it was last week. And they said that this and May's production is supposed to be 25% on XL. So I don't know if that just hasn't been updated from last week or not, because all the other notes from here on out are the same as they were last week. So it says best availability is for XLT or Lariat orders with the 2.0 EcoBoost gas and trimmer off-road package. So if you're wanting the trimmer. Limited availability for the hybrid, for the XL version, it says, for the black appearance package, for the spray and bed liner, for the drop-in bed liner, the hard trifold tonneau box, or tonneau box cover, I should say, and then also the tire that's on the XL and XLT, the standard tire. So if you got a Lariat order, great news for you. That's all I have for the Maverick. So again, I don't have any of the numbers of how many unscheduled orders there are because I didn't see it. It might pop into it tomorrow. We'll see. 25 model year Explorer. Your order banks are open for 25 model year Explorer. They are done with 24 model year scheduling. It's been balanced out. We do have 8 allocations for our 25 model year Explorer. They are not scheduling this week, so 1 more week. They're going to schedule for May production dates. Of course, it's not going to be for the full month of May. I think they're going to start like the 2nd week in May, if I remember right. So that's probably why they're waiting 1 more week. So, see. Next is 24 model year Expedition. Order banks are open up for those as well. We are going to have 6 allocations for Expedition. They're not scheduling this week, so no notes other than that. So we'll come back to that next week, see how things look. Next is the 24 model year Mach-E, Mustang Mach-E. They take out the Mustang on here, probably should. Order banks are open up for all configurations, including Select, Premium, and GT. We actually have 8 allocations. So Ford asked us to take some extra allocations, and we did. So we're going to take some of those Mach-E's and have some fun with them. They are retail scheduling this week. We have 3 retail orders. So if you have wanting to put in a Mach-E order, check with us on pricing. I believe we're doing $2,000 below MSRP is what we're doing on retail orders. If you're interested in getting a Mach-E, we do have open allocations. So the rest of it will be stock if you don't, if we don't get enough retails. So we have 3 retails, including mine, and they're all previewing for this week. So, and then they are scheduled for the weeks of May 6th through May 27th. All right, next is 24 model year Super Duty. Order banks are open up for those, so you can have those. I think we have like 42 allocations this month, a lot for Super Duty. We had some carryover from last week. They did not end up scheduling. We talked about scheduling Tuesday. Scheduling notes mentioned they were scheduling Wednesday. They changed those notes to say they weren't scheduling Super Duty, so it did not end up scheduling last week. Because of that, all those allocations that we had we're supposed to schedule, I think are going to get scheduled this week and not count towards our scheduling for May, because they are going to be scheduling this week for Kentucky for April production dates, April 1st through the 22nd, and Ohio for the week of April 22nd. So what happened last week is supposed to happen this week. So they're going to fulfill dealers the rest of their allocations for that. It says, okay, same notes as last week, that they need 6.8 liter engine orders. That is engine code 99A without the heavy duty alternator and the 5th wheel prep kit. So both. So if you have one or the other, or one, like if you're the standard heavy duty alternator, but what they're looking for is they're looking for that order without the 5th wheel prep package. So that's what they're looking for. All right, and then let's see what else. A 24 model year XL 6.8 liter gas pickups will be excluded from the wholesale availability formula for a period of 120 days. That's for dealerships, so that way they'll take some of these 6.8 liters, which is a great engine. So if you're looking for something, and that engine will still tow about 14,000 pounds. So it's a pretty good engine. It's a great way to save some money and get something ordered quickly. Also, it does say in here the 85S option, that tough bed spray and liner is going to be built at a rate of 28 to 32%, which is a pretty good percentage. So I think what they're wanting is they need that capacity up for that plant for those people to keep working. And so they're wanting people to put those on their orders, but I still say don't put on your order. But anyway, it looks like the availability and the capacity is there. If you have it on your order, you want that nice Ford on the back, then it looks like you probably should be good. Again, depends on dealers' allocations, though. All right, limited availability for these following options: the F600, the wheel option 64E, which is an 18-inch machine and painted aluminum wheel that's included in the Trimmer off-road package, the 4x4 front axle, that's available on the F450, 550, and 600. Also, the 4x4 axle that's available on the F450 and F550. So I think one of those is supposed to be, last week that said 2-wheel drive front axle. So can't remember which was which. The rear axle that's optional on the F350 dual rear wheel with the 6.8 liter and 7.3 liter engines. That is also limited availability, plus the 2 wheels 64A, which is a 17-inch Argent painted steel wheel with the painted hub covers, and the 64F, the 18-inch Argent painted steel with the painted hub cover. And the transfer case, it's standard on the F600, 4x4 with the 7.3 liter gas or the 6.7 diesel. And the 193-inch wheelbase or the 205-inch wheelbase chassis cab. And then the camera harness with the rear view camera. That's your cab and chassis camera harness. That's also limited availability. All right. think I got that covered. 24 model year F-150 order banks are open up right now. Looks like they're going to be scheduled this week. We have some allocations to carry over from last week that some of the scheduling didn't use all of those allocations. We also have 3 Raptors and 1 Raptor R allocation as well. I think we might have. I know we were trying to get that allocation today from somebody. They are scheduled for the week of April 15th through April 22nd. Those 2 weeks. And then it says all Lariats equipped with the bed utility package, King Ranch, Platinum, and Tremor 402As will need to have the Pro Access tailgate removal, the freestanding option added to be scheduled for production until further notice. So if you want your truck produced and you don't care about the Pro Access tailgate, you need to add the removal option 63X to your order, or will not get scheduled right now. So if you want the Pro Access tailgate, leave it on your order. Don't put the removal on there. Leave it as it is. It won't schedule yet, but it's still, then when it finally can schedule, it will schedule with it. Stock ones though, for dealers, they're going to automatically put that removal item option on their orders. So if you're looking at stock ones out there, keep that in mind if the job to order there. Starting Friday, March 1st, Ford is okay. I just mentioned that. So, and just my own words. And then limit availability for the T72 tire. That's the 245/70 R17 black sidewall all season tire. That's it for F-150. 24 model year Transit. Order banks are open up. We do have 1 allocation, which we have plenty of retail orders, so we should be good there. They are scheduled for the week of April 29th. It says there is opportunity to schedule the GTDI units this week. So I know that's been a struggle. Limit availability for the E-Transit, the low roof van, the cargo one, the mid roof cargo van, and all the 4x4 4-wheel drives. And then also option 58U, the AM/FM stereo with the 4-inch multifunction display. And then the 5th row double seat. It says 5th row double seat. So anyway, there you go. I think that's 2 on each side or something. All right. That is all the scheduling for this week. So again, if you're watching this from our Wednesday video, don't forget, drop those comments down below and I'll try to answer those. Those that are watching this live, back to you, Sarah.